Hello friends, welcome to radio frequency classes. Today in this video we will be seeing the center taped full wave rectifier, how center taped full wave rectifier is used to convert the available AC signal into DC. So already we know in my previous video I have explained that we use a rectifier circuit to convert the AC signal into DC signal. So in today's lecture we are going to check the center taped full wave rectifier circuit. So in center taped full wave rectifier, at the input side, as you can see, we will be having a 230 volt sinusoidal signal and 50 Hz frequency, and this will be coupled through the secondary winding. And then as you can see, the name suggests center taping, so exactly half voltage will be divided between these two windings, and these two D1 and D2 diode will be used to convert the AC signal into DC signal. So the circuit of center tape rectifier as shown, it uses two diodes D1 and D2. So during the positive half cycle of secondary voltage, the diode D1 is forward biased and D2 will be reverse biased. So as you can see here, we have two circuits. Okay, so the first one, as you can see, when the positive half cycle comes here at this near this winding, we will be having this plus and then plus and minus. So when plus and minus is connected with this PN diode, the P terminal is connected with the plus and this is negative. This will be forward bias and the current flows through this resistor RL, IL current. And this second diode D2 is off. So we'll get the output from 0 to pi, okay, and from 2 pi to 3 pi. And so as you can see here, I have explained the input signal also. So input signal is having some variation 0 to 2 pi, then 2 pi to 4 pi. So it is divided into two cycle. Okay, so one cycle, we know the frequency which is given as a 50 hertz. So we can calculate the time period of this one cycle, which will be 1 by 50, 20 millisecond. Okay, so we'll be using all these parameters when we will define our input signal in LTSpice. How to define the frequency, time period, and number of cycles at that time, we will be knowing it. So we should calculate depending upon frequency what is the time cycle. And even when we are doing the transient analysis, at that time also it is required, okay, to know the time cycle. Further, I'll say for the second half cycle, when negative half cycle is available, so at that time positive and negative will be developed like this. So in the negative half cycle, the second D2 diode will be on and D1 will be off. So current direction, this IL remains same, okay, across the load resistor RL. So as you can see here, direction is in the same way, and here also it is in same way. Okay, so we will be getting the output in a same direction. So now for the second diode, it will conduct from pi to 2 pi for negative half cycle, okay, from here pi to 2 pi. So we'll be having output like this. Definitely in the output there will be certain drop which will be the potential barrier, or we can say the junction diode voltage, okay, which is around 0 0.7 and 0 0.3 depending upon the material used. For silicon it is 0.7 and for germanium it is 0.3 volt. So whatever will be the drop, that drop we can see in the output, okay. While verifying the circuit in LTSpice we will check it. So I have explained the working. Now we'll go for LTSpice circuit simulation and we will verify the circuit designed here. Okay, so as you can see here we have the circuit for the center taped full wave rectifier using two diodes. So I'll go from left to right. So initially we use a voltage source supply. So to select this or to define the voltage source supply, we should select this component and we type here VOL. After typing VOL itself, we'll get the voltage source. So select OK. Now we have selected a voltage source. Already I have defined it here. That's why I'm getting it as a V2. So I'll place it here and then I'll press escape button. I'll be free from the selection. Now how to define this as this supply? So when you'll click on this, it asks DC value and series resistance, but we have to define a sinusoidal signal. So we'll go in advanced option, click on the advanced option. The pop-up window will be opening like this. Then we have different options. Right now we will go for the third option, SINE, sign, where we have V offset, V amplitude, frequency and other parameters. So right now in our example or in our rectifier circuit, we'll select this sinusoidal signal. So these all values are asked. So we have to enter only amplitude, which is 230. So we'll enter here 230. Frequency, we are defining it as a 50 Hz. So we'll enter it here. Now here you see n cycle, which is number of cycles. So once you will define here number of cycles, your input will be restricted for those many cycles. So if I'll define like 5 cycles, then 20 millisecond is one cycle. So 100 millisecond only will have the input. So output cannot go beyond that. So it's better you leave it number of cycle, no need to define. Now as we are using here the inductance concept and the transformer, so define the series resistance, some value, a small value, which will be 0.001 milli or something like that. You can define it. Okay. Then you will press OK. So this voltage source will be defined like this. Okay. Now I'm going to delete this source. So this way we can define this source. Okay, sign 0 I have defined for V offset. Even if you don't want, leave it. 230 amplitude and 50 is the frequency, and then series resistance, which is parasitic resistance of this voltage supply, which is 0.001 milliohm, minimal value. Now the second one is the inductor. So we'll select from here inductor like this and we'll place it. Right now it is showing as L4 because already I have selected 3 inductors, L1, L2 and L3. So we'll place it like this. Now for placing these other two, L2 and L3, when you have selected this inductor, that moment itself you press Ctrl E. So it will be a mirror image of L4. So you can place like this, L5 and L6. Then press escape. So these two, L5 and L6, are now mirror image of L4. Okay, so when you will press with Ctrl E, then these three will be in phase. When they are in phase, the coupling between these three inductors, okay, we can define it as a 1. I'll tell you that how to define these coefficients, the mutual coupling between these inductor. And why we are going for all these inductors? Because in the LTSpice, we don't have the transformer representation in the library for this version. So I'm taking the help of these inductors and will be showing you the how transfer concept works for the center tapped full wave rectifier. Fine. So once we have defined this L1, L2 and L3, then we'll select the diode. Now let me delete these inductors. Unnecessary, they are placed now here. I'll delete it. Yes, now it is deleted. After this, we'll select the diodes. So from where we'll get the diode? The symbol diode is there. Select the diode like this. Okay, now you want to rotate this, press Ctrl R, it will get rotated. Again Ctrl R. So we can rotate like this and place it here, one diode, and one diode you place it here. Once you place the diode, then again to mouse you click on this, okay, left click and then pick new diode. So we have number of diodes here. I have selected 1N4148. So select like this, click OK. Now your diode is defined like this. Okay, so here we have 3 diodes, that's why it is D3. You select D1 and D2, okay, and place it here. Now I'll delete this diode. Okay, fine. So now our voltage source is defined with this one, L1, L2 and L3. So for L1, you just click on this, right click. So see here 100 mu. So in to get this mu, you just press a small u from the keyboard. It will be automatically selected at this symbol of mu. So it is defined as 100 micro Henry, this L1. And these two values less because we are going to reduce the voltage supply at the secondary winding. Okay, so the further value will be reducing it, you will be having the less value of the voltage here. Here it is 230 volt of sinusoidal signal. Here you will be seeing the value will be less compared to this voltage. Okay, smaller value like 10 to 20 volts will get depending upon the L2 and L3 values. Both are same, so same values will be available across L2 and L3. So we can define here 0.1, 0.1 microhenry, 0.1 microhenry, 100 microhenry. And these dots you can see, once you'll define this K, L1, L2, L3 and 1, we will be having these dots. So how to define this L1, L2, L3 mutual coupling between this? We'll go to this option .op, which is called a SPICE directive. We'll click on here. So this kind of window will open. So whatever symbol is given properly, we have to write it. We'll write shift, press shift and then hit A, then one space. Then first inductor is defined as caps L1, caps L1. Again space, shift L2, space L3, space 1. It means K is the coefficient which defines the mutual coupling between L1, L2 and L3, and the coefficient is 1. Okay. Then if you press OK, it will be defined like this here. Already I have defined, so I won't press OK. I will just cancel it. Okay, so once you will hit that one, it will be defined like this, and then only you will be seeing these dots. When verify that if your dots are down, all three dots are downside, then you have to write here 1. But if these two dots are upside, by mistake you have not, if you have not done Control E, you have just rotated the inductors and placed here, then your dots will be upside. Then we have to define here -1. Otherwise, we have to define 1 if both are in same phase, all the inductors. After this, we'll select the resistor R from here and we'll place it here and define the value of R1 as a 1K. Then we'll select one ground and we'll attach it here. And all these connections you can join using these wires. So we'll select all these things, define. Once we have connected all the circuits properly, then we will go to the simulate option. Click on simulate option, go to edit simulation command. Now we have to define the transient analysis. We want to see the variation of the output across this load resistor with respect to the input signal. Okay, we have given here input signal, and now we want to check the output across the load resistor of 1K. So as you know that already I have defined the 50 Hz frequency. For that time period was 20 millisecond. So I am taking here 100 millisecond time period stop time. Once we'll press OK, then we'll have this value and you can place it here .tran, transient analysis. So now our circuit is defined. Once everything is done, just save it, and after that, this is the symbol for run the circuit. Just click on here, run. Okay, now you can see you will be having a window where there will not be any result. Okay, how you will get this result? Place this cursor near to this resistor. Okay, so in this place, when you are seeing this option, red color option, you can see pen point option. When you click here, you will be having this voltage. Okay, so you can see the voltage varies from 0 to approximately 6.56 volt. Okay, now I want to see the input available voltage here. So you'll click here, we see the secondary voltage available. Yes, it is the blue color voltage is the input secondary voltage available here at this winding, which is approximately 7.33. So you can see that the input available here is varying from plus 7.3 to minus 7.3, and output comes exactly the drop across the D1 diode and D2 diode. For positive cycle, drop across diode, then for negative cycle also drop will be there. Okay, so that is nothing but the drop across diode. So whatever available voltage is here, input voltage, secondary winding, minus drop across this will be available in the output cycle. So we can see the output DC waveform in the red color across this R1. And if you want to see the primary voltage here, it will be quite high, 230 volt. Yes. So now we can see the output voltage is much smaller. This red color is the DC output and blue one is the AC input available at the secondary winding. So now if you want, I'll delete the third voltage which was VN03. Again we can see the okay. So if you want to see the current also across this R1 resistor, okay, so when you have this kind of symbol, arrow kind of thing, if you click it, you'll get the current waveform. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, in my next video I'll explain the bridge rectifier using 4 diodes. Will how to convert the AC signal into DC signal. A little bit working I'll explain the same way, and then we'll use the LT Spice to simulate the circuit and see the voltage waveform variation across the load resistor. Thank you for watching the channel and the video. If you like the content, kindly subscribe and share the content. Thank you.